This is New Jersey. We all have some connection to live theater, whether it's from performing or attending a show, a play, a musical. At some point in our lives, we're affected by it. It's age-old, and yet it isn't necessarily easy or cheap to attend or to produce. Still, it's important to reflect or be reflected. How necessary do you think it is to preserve and nurture live theater and cultural events in our small towns, as well as our big cities?
Yeah, I think any kind of live performance will enhance the community because you'll have a back and forth, audience, performer. I think that's a really vital area of a community where you have that exchange.
I think you have to have it. It's live performances are much better than watching a movie, and I think people are willing to pay for a live audience, a live play. I did some Shakespeare, and we did Camelot, the school play, back in high school many years ago, and I really enjoyed it, and I think people would come out and see it.
Do you remember any of the lines or any of the parts of the plays you've been in?
The one Shakespeare I know, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man.
I guess it would be something that would sort of bring together the town, like people from the town can go and sort of take part in that and be proud of something that's unique to their community.
Hi, my name is Bob Angelini, and I'm the new artistic director for Revision Theater of Asbury Park. We're a regional professional theater here in Asbury Park, and we're in our 5th season. I'm a very big advocate for all types of arts organizations to get involved with communities, especially communities that have had some financial difficulties. You're going to see the trend now is government realizing that the arts are so important to a community, to rebuild communities.
I love the aspect of it that it's live and happening right there for you, and that these people are putting everything they have into that moment so that you walk away with this experience that you wouldn't get anywhere else, knowing that they're performing for me. It's just, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, I always wanted to be on stage, but apparently I didn't quite either have the talent or the look, or not quite sure what prevented me from making my stardom debut, but I helped out behind the scenes a few times, went to theater camp, stuff like that.
What encouraged you to get involved?
I had the type of parents that always wanted me. I had piano lessons, I had jewelry making classes, lots of summer activities. Both of my parents worked, so it was a good way for me to not just be stuck with babysitters all the time when I was little, and it was something that I was actively learning when I wasn't, when the school year ended. I was actively learning, I was actively creatively engaged.
Yeah.
It was something more, better than just sitting at home watching TV with a teenage babysitter who's got her boyfriend over or something.
Well, I never got top billing, okay? But I was a munchkin in The Wizard of Oz, and I remember it, and my parents were proud of me. Hi, I'm Grace Hanlon, Executive Director of the Division of Travel and Tourism for the state of New Jersey. I like to say it's the soul of tourism. I think that people coming to a town, of course I want them to enjoy the hotels and the attractions, but if you have a cultural experience, if you go to the theater and really enjoy it, those are memories that last forever when a person takes a vacation. That's why I'm so supportive of the arts and culture and the important impact they have on tourism and little towns that depend on these arts and the theaters in order to help, their economy and the general state of living.
Well, it broadens your point of view, looking at things from different perspectives. Gives you an opportunity to see things you normally wouldn't.
Live theater is part of the popular culture. The people need it because it keeps them entertained. The public needs it. So life isn't mundane, monotonous, humdrum, boring.
First of all, it brings together people who have, like pet families. A dad, and then he hears music that he grew up with, you know, in the 60s or the 80s, whatever. And then the little kids get up and dance all around in the grass, and it's just a pulled together kind of an occasion.
Yeah.
And the moon is out, and the stars, and it's lovely. It's just grand.
I think it's just a real important facet. It makes people well-rounded. Our children are not being exposed to it, and if we do away with it on a small town level, then they just won't ever know. I mean, even here in this little town, today we're celebrating the 100th anniversary of our little schoolhouse, and they make it a point to take the kids into New York City, and they make it a point that the arts are covered here. So certainly the kids here are exposed to Surflight Theater. We also have other little theater groups that abound here. So we're all very familiar with it. And it's definitely a staple in our town.
So if it were to disappear because of tough economic times, it would be a real tragedy.
I think it would be. I think it's one of the reasons. I mean, myself as a little girl can remember Joe Hayes when he started the theater, and it had a leaky tin roof. I'm sure everyone remembers it. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if a thunderstorm came by and people got dripped on. The show still went on.
Yeah.
And I think it's because people need it.
It's absolutely the truth, though, because when all else is failing, when there's no money, there's no, like when you feel like all hope was gone, I break out the guitar and just start singing, whether I'm crying, laughing, singing, whatever. Looking at some of my paintings, all my artwork is from friends. Art just brings me grounded back to square one, to feel okay, that everything's going to be all right. Everything will be just all right, I was just telling the lady at Magnolia House, because we were right down from the Surflight, I'd break out my guitar and play there. People would stop in front of us and start throwing me money. I was like, this is great. This is my house, and I'm just playing. We'd all get together and meet, and, all my groundings as a child growing up was because I came home past curfew because our jam session went too long. And we were it's like, Mom, I got lost in the music. And she'd be like, well, I still have to ground you, but I understand, so. Anyway, but it was nice talking with you. and keep supporting the arts, in any way possible. We salute you, sir, and your company and everything about it, right? All right.